Well, hello. Welcome. It's Oscar Butler. It's the Oscar Butler Show. I'm here, and tonight I wanted to talk. I turned this into a show because I have so much stuff I like to talk about. And so tonight I'm going to talk about my topic is how I approach open mic nights. And just to fill you in on things that I do. I do stage performance workshops. I did a stage performance workshop at the 2 years ago at the folk festival, the Albuquerque Folk Festival. But I've also done some private ones. But a lot of what I'm going to talk about tonight is just a lot of what I've gone through and the thinking that I have in approaching open mic nights. So if you have questions, let me know. Just we're on a chat, so this is an interactive chat, so you can tune in and chat with me. But now, open mic nights are great places to really develop your ability as a performer, and that's probably one of the biggest things I like to push out and point out to people as that you can really work on your performance in front of people there. That's what I see then. That's how I approach it is when I go to open mics, and when I used to go to open mics, it wasn't just to try out new material. It was to try out material, but to really work on performing it. It's not just, I take very seriously when I post things and present myself as a performing songwriter, because not only do I want to sing and play guitar, but I also want to be a performer in front of people. And I think some of the best compliments I've gotten were people who come up and tell me things like, it was just so great watching you perform. And that's what I practice. I practice that a lot. So I've got nine little tips and points that I'm going to hit on as I go through in the next, say, 25-30 minutes on approaching and my approach to open mics. So let's hit the first one. The first one, number one thing that I want to talk about is practice. Is to practice at home. It's interesting because I've gone to open mics, and I think it's I don't know, it's a crash and burn thing when you write a song an hour before the open mic and you say, well, I want to try this out on the open mic. That's insane. I never do that. I work on songs. I write lots of music, but I will always practice. I won't perform a song in front of people until I'm very confident that I have it down. Because number one thing about that is that when you have your music down, when you have your song locked in and ready to go, that's one less thing you have to worry about, especially if you're kind of new to the performance scene or open mics. If you're new to that, try to have as few things to worry about as you have to. One thing, a lot of people tend to be just nervous, but then being nervous about, well, do I know this song? Do I have it down? Have I practiced it enough? And so that's one of the first things that I want to talk about is to practice, work on your song. If you're writing a new song, and whether it's an original song or a cover song, it doesn't matter. Just practice it, so that you don't have to worry about the actual delivery of the song. And everybody does. It's still going to happen. But the more it's locked into your brain and muscle memory, and, whether it's keyboard or playing the guitar, the more it's locked into that muscle memory, the less you have to worry about it. So that's the first thing that I say is when it comes to open mics is to practice your material, is to get it down and have it so that you don't have to worry about it. Okay, number two. Now, my number two thing in open mics is when you're called up. Okay, at the actual open mic, when you're called up, be tuned up. Be tuned up. I mean, yeah, there are times when you get up there and there's one string or two if it's your guitar, if that you have to kind of tweak a little bit, but don't go up there and tune your whole guitar because you haven't played it for like 2 days or and it wasn't tuned then. Have it tuned beforehand. When you're sitting, if you get to the open mic early, pull your guitar out, tune it up, get it tuned up so that number one, you don't make people have to wait for you to tune it up. And it's a little bit unprofessional. Now, the thing with me too, though, is that when I'm performing, I use a bunch of open tuning. So that is just something naturally that I have to do. I mean, I mean some major tunings, but what I do is I practice getting it done quickly. And the other thing is being able to banter, to talk while you're doing it. And, if you can talk to people while you're sitting there tuning up, fine. That's a great thing. So first or second thing that I'm pointing out is when you're at an open mic, already be tuned up. Don't make people suffer through you tuning in front of them when you should be playing your songs. Okay. So that's, let's see, that was number 2. Okay. We're going down. I got a whole list here. Well, a list of 9 that I'm just going to hit real quick. Here's a good one. Sound check. It's really funny because I'll sit in an open mic and I'll watch people and sound check where you're going to sing. Because and it's funny because I'll watch people and the person and whoever the host is they're trying to get give you the best sound that you have. So he'll say give me some vocals, and if you just kind of talk into it, but then you sing louder, that's going to screw things up. So try to hit about the level, the dynamic that you're going to do when you're singing. Don't hold back. Don't be shy about it, and work with them. And the thing is too is don't be afraid to ask for things. If you want a little bit more bass in there, or if you want a little bit more bass on your guitar, a little more treble. If you can't quite hear the monitor, talk to your host because he's there. He or she is there to help you sound the best you can. And for me, I mean, I'm a tough one in terms of like when it comes to monitoring. I like my monitors hot. So a lot of times if there's a good monitor in front of me, I'll say, just kind of crank the monitor up a little bit, because I like my monitors hot because it keeps me from kind of overdoing it into the microphone. Because if I can't hear myself, then I try to push harder. And sometimes it just doesn't come out great like that. So that's the third thing is to sound check where you're going to sing. Let it go. Same thing with the guitar, man. Hit the guitar work the guitar about where you're going to be playing it. If there's soft pieces, that's fine. You can get to it, but definitely give the host who's trying to set your sound good what he needs to hear in order for him to set that sound good. Okie dokie. All right, let's see. What's the next one? Oh. Here's one. This next one is like fingernails on a chalkboard to me. Is that when you get up, people get up in front of the audience, and it's open mic, and I understand that some people are very, very new to this, but start with good habits now. The very first one is practice your songs, practice what you're going to do, whether it's a cover, whether it's original, practice it. And the thing too about that is that open mic audiences are very loving and very forgiving. So, I mean, if you get up there and sound like crap, they're going to pat you on the back and say it was good. But the best thing to do is practice it and give your best performance there. But now the next thing, what I was saying is like nails on a chalkboard for me is don't start off apologizing. Don't start off apologizing for your song. That right there makes the audience uncomfortable. And in my workshops that I do for stage performance, that's the one thing. When I step up on a stage, my goal is to make the audience feel as comfortable as I can. because if I'm worried about something, it's like if you make a mistake, if I make a mistake and then broadcast it, it makes the audience uncomfortable. They feel bad for me, and I don't want that to happen. I want, if I make a mistake, it's like I'm going to go right through it. I'm going to keep going like nothing ever happened, because it keeps your audience feeling very relaxed and comfortable. And that's what you have to do. Don't start off apologizing for your song. Don't try to muster up sympathy. That sucks, man. Don't do that. It's just not good practice. When you get up there, be confident of what you're going to do. Be confident, number one, because you've practiced a lot. You've practiced. If you're trying out new stuff, don't bring it to the open mic to try it out. Like I said, if you wrote a song an hour ago and then I'm going to go to open mic and do it, don't do that. Take it. Practice it on your friends, practice it on your family, and try to get them to be honest with you, because that way you'll get really true feedback. You'll get good true feedback. If you bring something to the open mic that you haven't really honed down and it's kind of yucky, people are still going to say, okay, that's okay. But that's not great. That's not good feedback. It's fun, but it's not good feedback. So anyway, don't start your set off apologizing for either you not practicing or this song not being great. Don't ever think that your songs aren't great, especially for other people. Don't make them start feeling bad for you. You want them to feel good. You want them to feel good for your performance. So anyway, let's move on. Let's see. Okay. Next thing is simple. And again, it kind of goes with the last thing, is to relax. And it's interesting because I took the stage performance course that Livingston Taylor did. Now, when I was out in Boston, Livingston Taylor, he blew my mind when I saw him perform, and found out that at the time, he's retired from it now, but he used to teach at Berklee School of Music stage performance. But one of the things that he talked about is you step up on stage and just kind of and that's what I do. I step up on stage and I just look around, I smile at people. And I make them feel like I'm relaxed, because you know what? That's going to relax them. It makes them feel like I feel like I'm at home. And that's the thing on stage, man. You want to be at home. Even if you're not yet, if you still have that nervousness, don't worry. Just work at feeling and looking relaxed and natural and like you belong there, because it makes your audience relax and feel like you belong there. So it helps. So that's a big thing. One thing that Livingston Taylor would say was, just get up there and don't rush into it. Just kind of look around. Hi, how you doing? Yeah. This is going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Hope you're going to enjoy this. And so that's the confidence you want to give to your audience, because the thing is, they'll suck it up. They will suck it up and love it. Like I said, some of the best compliments I get are not so much about my music. Now I feel I sing well and I feel I play guitar well, but some of my favorite compliments are when people talk to me about the actual performance. And that's why I put in my advertising, I'm a performing songwriter. I perform because if you've ever heard me talk about my songwriting, I write songs in the bathroom in front of the mirror. Because I want to see what I look like when I'm delivering lines. And it actually helps me write better lines. It helps me write singable lines, but I want to be entertaining in every way possible. So that's it. Anyway, relax. Okay, moving on. Let's see what's so. Okay. Here's a good one. Respect. Be respectful. Now, there's several angles that I'm going to hit on this. Is number one, be respectful of your time, of the time. Now, this is an open mic. which usually you get maybe two, three songs in considering, I mean, I've been to open mics where there've been a bunch of people and, you're lucky if you get two songs, but if you get three songs or if it's set at a time limit, be respectful of that time. Don't go up there and start telling this whole big story about a particular song. This is an open mic. Do that in your gig. Do that in your show. You got a big story to tell about a song or about writing this song. Wait till you're booked. And it's all your time. Right now in an open mic, it's not all your time. You've got three songs, maybe 10 to 15 minutes. If there's not many people, you're lucky to have 15 minutes, but that's it. So be respectful of the time because there's other people who want to get up. And if you sit there and tell a whole long story and, if most hosts are too nice to say, listen, dude, cut it down. If you're telling a story for all three of your songs or both of your songs, whether it's through two or three, you're running over. Okay. So be respectful of that time of that. And then also be respectful of the other musicians. Now, I've been in open mics where there was actually someone up on the stage and behind me, there was another musician who was signed up to playing his song, working on his song. And I had to turn around and say, dude, knock it off. Somebody's up here playing. Respect what he's doing because you'd want the same thing. So that's the two angles in terms of when I say be respectful, man. If you got to practice, if you got to warm up or even tuning, go outside. Take it outside, or nowadays with these new tuners, you can sit there and not even make a noise and actually tune it. That's how I do it. But usually I'm pretty close to being in tune, but I definitely make sure I'm tuned up before I get up there. But yeah, be respectful. Don't sit there and play your song while someone else. And number one, it was distracting to me. So that was that one. Be respectful. Okay, we're almost done here. It's going to be a short night tonight, I think. Let's see. No comments yet. Okay, so let's move on. So that was be respectful. And then again, along this also is support the other players. Support the other players is a wonderful thing. And of course, you're going to sit there. My attitude toward open mics is that if I go to open mics, unless the open mic is like 4 hours long, I'm going to stay through the whole thing. Because I love the community. I want to support the community, not just the players, but also the host. I mean, it's great for the host to see that you stick around and support what he's doing. And honestly, one of my pet peeves is, people who come in, they'll come in maybe early or midway, sign up, play their song, and then just leave. That's not supporting the music community and especially the open mic community. So sit your ass down. I mean, I can sit through 2-3 hours and love it, because I love seeing people get up there and do their best. And if I can throw things out, I definitely like that, the one about the apology. Don't start off with an apology. Man, if I catch people doing that, I'll go up to them and say, dude, don't start off with an apology. You put the audience on a down step right there. Come up there and say, yeah, okay, this is a great song. I'm about to play this. And the thing is, people want to believe that. So do it. Go up there and do it. But anyway, support your players, stick around. I mean, and there are times when you can't. I mean, there are times when, 3 hours, I'll sit through 2.5 maybe, and I have a pressing thing I need to get to. But for the most part, when I go to an open mic, I try to stay through most, if not all of it. Okay. And again, this is just the way I approach open mics. So let's move on. What else do we got? Oh, the next one was just pretty much the same thing. as far as supporting the players, but also supporting the open mic, which again, like I said, as a host, and I've hosted open mics. I hosted an open mic that I mean, it was honestly, it was like pulling teeth to try to get people to come see it. But when people would come, man, it was just great. And if they stuck around through the whole thing, it just felt so good to have people stick around. So do it, not, for the host too, because the host is busting his butt. He's, a lot of times they have to drag in. I know I'd have to drag in all my equipment and set it up and, ahead of time. And then at the end of it, I was there for, another half hour or so, breaking everything down and getting, having to cart it out and pack it up. So definitely support the open mic too. And, some open mics like Felix runs his, and I don't know if anybody else does, but, Felix definitely puts out a tip jar. And it's usually because he usually has a featured songwriter, which that goes to them. But honestly, I think all open mics should at least have a tip jar out there, just not for the particular people, but really to help pay for a little bit more of it. I mean, most of the time the host is getting paid, but usually it's not a whole lot. But that's a cool thing. Anyway, let's go on. What do we have? Well, we have just one more. Oh yeah, this one should have been the first, third, maybe fifth, seventh, and now this one. It's big thing, and I know with all my seriousness is that this might come across as a little hanky, but have fun. Have fun. I mean, that's what it's all about. And the thing is if you don't worry too much about this stuff, if you just kind of take it into light and understand, the best ways to have fun is, it sucks if you go to an open mic and you're not prepared and you have to sit there and struggle in front of all these people. It's not fun. That's not fun. Fun is practicing it. And even if you don't have it down, great, exciting, but good enough to get out there and play, that's fun, because then people will have fun with you. And don't worry about it. Just get up there, have a great time. And so that's kind of, all the issues that or all the ways and thoughts that I have, and well, not all of them. I always have more. But in terms of approaching the the open mics and just quickly going back through them is first off, practice. Practice makes perfect, I guess. Not really. Actually, there's another thing. I have to look up that quote. There's another good quote that kind of is a little different from that. But practice your stuff when you're getting ready to go to your open mic, or you're thinking about going to an open mic. Use the open mic not so much to try out new material, but to try out performing that new material. That's what that's about. Is you want to try to practice performing that new material, because what you have to understand is that people want to see a performer. People love seeing performers. Tune your guitar, make sure it's tuned before you get up there. And if not, if you have a little tweak, that's fine. This is not set in stone stuff. It's not stuff set in stone. So make sure try to tune your guitar so you can get right into it. Get right into it. If you have a little bit to say about your song, fine, do it. But then go ahead and move on. Sound check. Remember when the host is asking you to give your vocals and give your guitar, give them right up there. Give them some dynamic on that, so that they know that they don't have to be running up to either up it or lower it. Give them what you're going to be doing out there. Okie dokie. And again, once again, don't start with an apology. Don't start with an apology. Don't apologize for your work. If you're a songwriter, start building confidence in your songwriting ability and just expect it to be good. Expect it to be good. Yeah, no. Next, I said was relax, kick back mentally, kick back. kick back. Now, stage fright is an interesting thing because I got over it. I used to play in the streets and subways of Boston. And there was one point where I realized that I don't have to be afraid. If I just decide what I decided was I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to enjoy this. And a lot of times at my gigs, I'll say I'm here to have fun. I'm here to have fun. If you're not having fun, that's your own fault. But I'm here to have fun. And I tell people that, and they laugh at me and they have fun. But it relaxes them. It gets them in the mood because I get up there and I just have a great old time. And the thing is that if you don't feel like it right now, fake it. Fake it until you start feeling it, because that's what I did. I mentally, I said, you know what, Oscar, if you just look like you're having a good time, people are going to believe it. And the thing is, it got to a point where I was having a good time. And now, man, I can't wait till I'm up on a stage in front of people because I just have a great time. And I know they're going to, because they just get it. It's like a yawn. You yawn, one person wants to yawn, and then somebody else yawns. That's what having a good time is like, man. If I get up here and have a good time, they're going to have a good time. So that's how I go about it. Anyway, next, again, be respectful. Be respectful of your time. The time, because it is an open mic. You have a limited time, so don't push into someone else's time by being verbose about something about your song. Get up, do your song, say a little bit if you want to, get up, do your song, get off, so that the next person can come up and enjoy. Okay. Support your players, keep your players. I mean, sit there and clap. And the thing is too, is that best I can, man, I try not to sit and talk. I'm from a world, like when I was in New England, listening rooms were amazing, where people come in. Actually, I've been running into them up in Colorado too, but where people, no matter if it's a tap room or whatever, I mean, people come in, but when the music is up on the stage, it's like the rule is shut up, listen to the music. There was actually one open mic I did last month in Denver, and the guy was like totally serious, man, when he would tell people to shut up. People would be sitting out there talking, shut up, somebody's up here on the stage playing. And that's the kind of atmosphere I like. Anyway. But support your players, enjoy them. I try, when I'm there, I try to watch them and enjoy and listen to the lyrics and just enjoy every bit of them. And again, support the open mic. Sticking around, man, through the end of the open mic, man, makes hosts feel really good. It makes them feel like they're actually accomplishing something. I mean, and like I said, when I was a host, people would get up and leave, and it'd be an empty room at the end of the night. And that sucked. I mean, that's my view on it, but it sucked. It really did. So hang out if you can. If you got to go, that's fine. But don't just go with the attitude, well, I'm just going to play and I'm getting out of here. I'm not going to listen. I don't care about anybody else. Okie dokie. And once again, last but not least, to have a frickin' good time. Have fun. So that's my approach on open mics. And again, like I said, I do stage performance workshops and stuff, which is cool. One thing that I teach in the workshops is about the connection between you and the audience. That was something I learned big time from Livingston Taylor's stage performance course, man, is that this relationship. And the thing is, once you start doing it, there is this relationship that you can have with your audience. I mean, you give, they give back. They give back, man, in big ways. And I've seen that all around the state, man, as I'm playing in different parts of it. and up in Colorado. I'll be up in Colorado this weekend at the Cheeseman Park Festival, and I just love that place. But several open mics that I've been to up in Fort Collins and Denver. I mean, the people there are just cool. They soak up the music. And so anyway, that's my show for tonight. I just wanted to kind of share some of that. Let's see, next week, I'm trying to think, I actually am going to be in Colorado, so I'm not going to, well, actually I have a show that I need to put together, pre-recorded. I did it. It's about, guitar maintenance. I had spoken about it a little bit a few weeks ago, just on a few videos, but I actually did a whole show on some of the maintenance that I do on my guitar. So what I'll do is I'll set that up to run next week for my show. But other than that, you guys have a great time. Thanks for hanging out and listening. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me on my website. You can send comments and messages to me, or you can message me on here. This will be up on my sites, YouTube and Facebook, YouTube, and the 3 different places on Facebook. And so you can feel free to leave comments there. And again, tonight was just my view on how I approach open mics. So have a great night, and I will see ya later.